We're sitting in the restaurant. Elon Musk puts down his fork and looks directly at me. Most people think I'm crazy, going to Mars, electric cars. But let me tell you what real madness is. And the story he told afterward completely changed everything I knew about entrepreneurship. Tonight, I'm face to face with one of the world's most controversial visionaries. How did I get the chance to have dinner with Elon Musk? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure myself, but here I am, and he's sharing the deepest lessons of his life with me. Do you know what real madness is? He continued, with that familiar spark in his eyes. Real madness is doing the same things and expecting different results. What I do isn't madness, it's necessity. When I heard this sentence, I frowned. What do you mean? Musk leaned back, took a breath. Look, in 1995, I started doing a PhD at Stanford. I dropped out after 2 days. Do you know why? Because the internet revolution was starting, and I didn't want to be just a spectator. Everyone was telling me, Elon, have you lost your mind? What are you going to do after dropping out of Stanford? The waiter came over and refilled our drinks. Musk continued his story without missing a beat. Kimball and I, my brother, founded Zip2, city directory and mapping system. Initially, we had no money, no office. We were living in an apartment and working there at the same time. We'd go to the gym to shower. Really? I asked in surprise. Of course. But look, that's not the important part. The important thing is this. Even back then, I knew that if I followed conventional paths, I'd get conventional results. And conventional results aren't enough to change the world. Musk took a sip of water and continued. In 1999, we sold Zip2 to Compaq for $307 million. My share was $22 million. I was a millionaire at 28. Everyone was telling me, now relax, enjoy it. But you didn't, I said. I didn't, because this was just the beginning. Right after I founded X.com, which later became PayPal. I wanted to revolutionize internet payments. Everyone was again saying, Elon, why are you taking risks? There's soft music playing in the restaurant, but I'm completely focused on his story. Weren't you afraid? I asked. Musk smiled. Fear. Of course I was afraid. But you need to understand the difference between fear and risk. Fear is the emotion you feel when facing the unknown. Risk is entering a calculated bet. How do you calculate risk? Very simple. First, if I fail, is there irreversible damage to my personal life? Second, in case of failure, do I have the capacity to try again? Third, without taking this risk, is there any chance the situation will improve on its own? This logic seemed very clear to me. You sold PayPal too, right? Yes, we sold it to eBay for $1.5 billion in 2002. My share was $165 million. Now I could really be considered rich, and here's where I did what everyone expected. He paused, looked directly at me. So what did you do? I risked everything. Again, I looked at him in amazement. What do you mean? I saw 3 major problems. First, fossil fuels destroying our planet. Second, humanity's dependence on a single planet. Third, the internet's potential not being fully utilized. And you decided to attack all 3? I didn't just attack them. I invested all my money in these 3 problems. $70 million in Tesla, $100 million in SpaceX, and the remaining money in Solar City. I'm listening with bated breath. So you had no cash left? None. In fact, by 2008, things were so bad that I was borrowing money from friends for rent. Both Tesla and SpaceX were on the verge of bankruptcy. Both companies could have failed in the same week. What did you feel then? Musk took a deep breath. Fear? Number because I had nothing left to fear, worry? Yes, but what I felt most was responsibility. This wasn't just my money anymore. I had hundreds of employees. I was thinking about their families. So how did you decide in that critical moment? I had $40 million left for Tesla's final funding round. Either I give it to Tesla and let SpaceX fail, or vice versa. Or I fund both halfway and slowly kill both. What did you do? I found enough money to save both. How? I called investors at 3 a.m. If you're not going to be in the final round, I'll put all my personal assets in. And I did. When I heard this story, I was shocked. So all your assets? Yes, I sold my house, everything, because if I don't believe in these projects, why should anyone else? The waiter brought our food, but neither of us was focused on eating. What if you hadn't succeeded? What if you'd lost everything? Musk picked up his fork but didn't touch his food. Look, there's a very important difference here. I was willing to risk losing everything, but not failure, because failure isn't just a result, it's part of the process. What do you mean? SpaceX's first 3 rockets exploded. Falcon 1, Falcon 2, Falcon 3. Each time, millions more dollars burned. The media was mocking Elon's space adventure, but I was learning something from each explosion. What did you learn? Not rocket science, human management. From the first explosion, I learned that being a perfectionist wasn't enough. From the second explosion, I understood the critical importance of teamwork. From the third explosion, I got the real lesson. What was that? Failure happens the moment you give up. Failure isn't a result, it's your decision. This sentence resonated within me. So Falcon 4 was successful? Yes. And that day we didn't just launch a rocket, we changed the entire space industry. With reusable rocket technology, we reduced the cost of going to space by 10 times. Did Tesla go through the same process? It was even harder. Because the automotive industry is more conservative than space. They were saying, electric cars won't work, range isn't enough, there's no charging infrastructure, customers won't buy them. How did you prove them wrong? I didn't prove it, I showed it. We started with the Roadster. It was fast, beautiful, expensive sports car. The target audience was innovative, wealthy people. Then we moved to the mid-upper segment with Model S. Now we've reached the mass market with Model 3. What about the charging problem? We built the supercharger network, but more importantly, we changed customer behavior. People started saying charging up instead of filling the tank. Even the language changed. He touched his food for the first time, took a bite. So what now? Is the Mars plan really serious? His eyes lit up. Mars is just the beginning. The real goal is to make humanity a multi-planetary species. Think about it. If an asteroid hadn't hit Earth 65 million years ago, dinosaurs would still be here, but it hit, and they became extinct. So it's like an insurance policy? Exactly. A backup plan for Earth, but at the same time, it's humanity's greatest adventure. Exploring, growing, pushing boundaries. It's in our DNA. Is the Starship project for this reason? Starship will change everything, both for going to Mars and for transportation on Earth. One day we'll be able to go from New York to Tokyo in 30 minutes, by rocket. This vision excited me. But what about Twitter? Why did you buy it? Musk paused, his expression becoming more serious. Twitter. That was different. I saw it as the digital town square of humanity, but it was broken. Censorship, bots, echo chambers, free speech was dying. So you spent $44 billion to save free speech? I spent $44 billion to save civilization, because when you can't speak freely, you can't think freely. And when you can't think freely, innovation dies, democracy dies. But it was such a huge financial risk. Everything I do is a financial risk. But some risks are worth taking. Twitter, now X, will become the everything app. Payments, communication, commerce. It will be the digital nervous system of Earth. What about the criticism? Critics said Tesla wouldn't work. Critics said SpaceX wouldn't work. Critics said I couldn't improve Twitter. I don't optimize for critics. I optimize for the future. So what advice do you give to young entrepreneurs? Musk put down his fork, clasped his hands together. First, solve real problems. Don't become an entrepreneur just to make money. Find something that will actually make the world a better place. Second, fall in love with failure. Failure is the fastest way to learn. At Tesla, we apply the principle of rapid prototyping, rapid failure. The faster you fail, the faster you learn. Third, build a team. I'm an engineer, but Tesla's success isn't just mine. There are thousands of engineers, designers, workers. Without them, Tesla would just be a dream. What's the most important advice? Time. Don't forget that time is very limited. I'm 50 years old. Maybe I'll be active for another 20 to 30 years. In this time, I want to go to Mars, make sustainable energy widespread, ensure AI safety. Is that why Neuralink exists? Yes. AI is developing very fast. If humans can't adapt to it, we'll be left behind. Neuralink is the way to merge our brains with AI. Doesn't that seem scary? What's scary is being caught unprepared. We're going to live in the future. The future isn't living in us. That's why we have to prepare now. Our meal was almost finished. One last piece of advice? Musk smiled. Work hard. Working 80 to 100 hours a week is normal. But let this work give you joy. If you have to force yourself to go to work on Monday morning, you're doing the wrong job. What about personal life? Balance isn't easy. I have 5 children. I try to spend time with them. But they also know that what their father does isn't just for them. It's for all humanity. Is there anything you regret? Regret is a luxury. I only look forward. Because there's so much to do. Going to Mars, ensuring AI safety, making sustainable energy widespread. And you believe you'll do all of this? I don't believe. I know. Because mathematics says so. Tesla's growth rate, SpaceX's cost reduction ratio, Neuralink's development speed. They're all exponential. And exponential growth creates miracles. They brought the check. Musk pulled out his card. This evening's on me. Thank you. These stories changed my life. Don't let them change it. Let them guide your life. Because stories are only about the past. What really matters is, what story will you write? As we got up from the table, he told me one last thing. Remember, there's no such thing as impossible. There are only problems that haven't been solved yet, and every problem is an opportunity. We parted with these words. This evening I spent with Elon Musk fundamentally changed my understanding of entrepreneurship. Now, I'm not just thinking about being successful, I'm thinking about changing the world. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the other videos to hear the most private dinner conversations where billionaires reveal their deepest secrets. Which part inspired you the most? Drop it in the comments. Let's figure out how to become billionaires together.